Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today we continue on with what has been a really busy week for Celtic. Atletico Madrid on Wednesday, and now we turn our attention to Easter Road tomorrow. And a season so far which I feel like we've been exclusively away from home. Domestically, I feel like we've just been constantly on the road, which is annoying. Another tough game tomorrow, but another opportunity for Celtic to continue on that fantastic form that we're in, the domestic success that we're finding at the minute, and to keep the good feeling around the club. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. It'd be much appreciated as we try and get towards 50,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already, go down below, press both of those buttons, absolutely free, and you'd be doing me a favour, so thank you. So we return to Easter Road this weekend, a place where in recent times we've actually been really good, but historically for Celtic, with a certain man in charge of the club, Brendan Rodgers, it hasn't been our most successful venue to visit, and we will talk all about that in a few moments' time. But it's another opportunity for Brendan Rodgers to put that all to rest, to carry on the fantastic job that he's doing so far this season, and a chance to keep the confidence and momentum flowing at the club. We have been brilliant away from home. We've won at Tynecastle, the Tony Macaroni, Ibrox, Pittodrie. Let's put another one on that list. Let's put another notch on the Brendan Rodgers bedpost. And let's get a win at Easter Road. We're taking on a completely different Hibs now. Nothing like the Hibs that Brendan Rodgers took on his first tenure here. Hibs at the minute who are really struggling for confidence. But we've got a few bits of news to discuss before we preview the game, including an injury update on Rio Hattis. So at the press conference early this afternoon, Brendan Rodgers confirmed that Rio Hattis will be out for a few weeks with a hamstring injury. Brendan Rodgers went on to describe the injury as a bad one, which is not what you want to hear when it comes to one of your best players. When it comes to any player really, but specifically someone like Rio Hattis, who's had such a start-stop campaign with injuries, fitness issues. He was really picking up his form, brilliant over the last couple of weeks, brilliant for the first 5 minutes against Atletico Madrid. And now he's picked up an unfortunate hamstring injury, which will keep him sidelined for what I hope is only a few weeks. That's the only thing that scares me. Hamstring injuries can be bad. They can be really bad. And the fact that Brendan Rodgers has described this as a bad one, I hope that there's no porky pies being told in the length of time here. A few weeks is all I want to see. I don't want it to be one of those ones that it's a few weeks for now, but we get to a few weeks down the line and it's another few weeks and then another few weeks. It's just going to be one of those ones we need to watch the continuous development and the status of Rio Hattis. Whether it gets better, whether it gets worse, I'm sure he'll be into rehabbing that injury as quickly as possible. But it's really is gutting for not just him, but the whole team, because he is so good, he's so important to what we do. And that midfield three of Callum McGregor, Rio Hattis and Matt O'Reilly were really starting to flourish. They were getting into their groove. They looked unbeatable, and as I've kept calling them the Holy Trinity, that's exactly what they were. But we're going to have to put that on hold for a little bit, the development of that midfield three, until Rio Hattis is once again back. It's just gotten known that, you know, it's not just these games he misses. He's probably going to miss Atletico. Hopefully he's back in time for Lazio. We're just going to have to wait and see. But with, with an unfortunate injury like that, there comes great opportunity. And this is a massive chance for players like Paulo Bernardo, Odin Thiago Holm, and the other centre midfielders we've got in and around there, Tomoki Iwata. Guys like that, that's a massive opportunity for them, because with Rio Hattis' game time vanishing, suddenly game time becomes available to these guys. So Paulo Bernardo, who I thought looked really good on Wednesday night, will have another chance very soon, maybe as soon as tomorrow. Tomoki Iwata, who was great in the last 10-15 minutes against Hearts, he might have another opportunity coming up, which allows McGregor to move up the park. We find ourselves in a good position when it comes to depth, and these guys just really need to step up and take that chance. And do you know what? Make it a tough conversation for when Rio Hattis is back. The best that we can make out of a Rio Hattis injury is that he doesn't walk straight back into the team when he's back to full fitness. So that was the big update from the press conference this afternoon. Aside from that, a couple of other wee things. Brendan Rodgers did touch on the fact that the winter fixtures, the post-Christmas fixtures for Celtic, haven't been nice for the last 6 or 7 years I think he's quite right in saying so. It seems like we're always away from home following Christmas, but you know, it's not stopped us winning league title after league title. So, you know, Brendan Rodgers, the professional that he is, will get on with it. Celtic will get on with it. But yeah, Rio Hatati out, gutting news. Let's talk about tomorrow and Hibs. So here is that head-to-head with Hibernian that I was speaking about earlier, with Brendan Rodgers being in charge. So this was from when Hibs were first promoted back into the top flight of the Scottish football pyramid up until the departure of Brendan Rodgers. As you can see at Easter Road, we didn't do all too well. Good on the first visit, a 4-2 win in the League Cup back in 2017, but from that point on it was a struggle. A draw in December of 2017, we lost in April of 2018, we also lost in December of 2018, and then the final visit was a bit of success as well in the Cup. So in the Cup we didn't do too bad. Brendan Rodgers managed to pick up 2 vital wins on the road to those trebles. Ignore me, by the way, I've just noticed post-edit, and I can hear you typing already in the fucking comment section. I know, the first one in the League Cup wasn't at Easter Road, it was at Hampden. I've realised now, that bright green strip has been burned into my memory. So, calm down, right? Calm down. Sorry. But in the league, Brendan Rodgers has never won at Easter Road. So this is a chance for it to be a first. You know, Brendan Rodgers has done a lot of firsts in Scotland and with Celtic. But this is one that we really need here. And listen, that extended beyond Brendan Rodgers being in charge. We had a real problem with Easter Road for a long time. And remember when Ange Postecoglou first came in, we all thought, oh, here we go, back to Easter Road. We've struggled here, we always struggle here. But Ange managed to put that to bed. We got over that hoodoo, and we've never looked back since. So I'm hoping we just carry on from there. The mentality within this group of players is completely different. It's a completely different group of players. Although we always breed winners, you know, this is a group who don't fear going to these venues, and they always show up when they go to these venues. Remember the last time we went to Easter Road, we played really, really well. I think it was the last time anyway. You can never keep up. There's that many times you go. But, you know, Rodgers has done a job at conquering those tricky away venues so far this season, and it's time for him to add another one. We just need to keep building on what we're doing. Build on from what we done on Wednesday. What we accomplished on Wednesday was no small feat. You know, people keep taking the mick about we've still not won a home Champions League game. I would have loved to have seen any other Scottish side up against Atletico Madrid this past Wednesday, because they would not be walking away with a point, I tell you that. And we were the better team. We took one of the best teams in Europe right to the very end, and we could have had a win if we just had a wee bit more luck on our side. But the way that we played football, we just need to keep that going. How we played at Tynecastle, how we played at Celtic Park on Wednesday. Just keep doing what we're doing. We don't need to change anything. The only thing that we're forced to change is now Rio Hatati. But in terms of how we're playing football, yeah, you make the minor alterations to suit the opposition you're coming up against. Hibs will be a different team from Atletico Madrid. But in terms of what we do on the ball, making those chances, exploiting those key areas in the park, we keep doing that, we'll be absolutely fine. So let's talk about Hibs. Let's talk about the Hibs. New manager in town. An unknown quantity is what I'd say. Just like I said about Hearts last week, you can't pinpoint Hibs down to any particular style or threat at the moment. I feel like they're very up in the air, both of the Edinburgh sides, but especially Hibs. Nick Montgomery has obviously came in. He's took over from Lee Johnson. They've had an incredibly poor start to the season. They sit 9th in the league table right now. I think 2 wins to their name. Of course, they played well in that Edinburgh derby. They pulled it back from 2-0 down. Managed to walk away with a draw, which showed, you know, resiliency. It showed fight, character. And I think that's a lot of things that Nick Montgomery needs to install back into this Hibs side. But they really are an unknown quantity. I really don't know what to expect from them. I've not seen anything from Hibs this season, and especially in the short time under Nick Montgomery, that makes it simple to say they'll do this, they'll do that. I think you're going into this game, us being clear favourites and Hibs being in a situation where they'll probably just have to defend for their life. So it's another standard day at the office for us. Break down these sides, take your goals, your chances early, make it as comfortable as you can. In saying that, I don't think that Hibs are useless. I don't think they certainly possess a threat. They have good players throughout that side. But listen, it's a job that Celtic should be doing, and we should be doing pretty convincingly when you look at the state of Hibs over the last few months. They were battered 4-0 last week off Rangers at Ibrox. Obviously, that new manager bounce for Rangers was probably a massive part in that, but Hibs looked poor. They've got a couple of players, like the boy Venti is one that I think we should look out for. I think he looks a good player. Obviously, Martin Boyle, as we all know, a really good player. But they're poor. They are. That's just the honest truth. So starting 11 predictions then. Let's go through it, shall we? Unchanged? We can't be unchanged, sadly. Rio Hatati has to come out, but who comes in? Paulo Bernardo, for me, has to start again. Get minutes in his legs. Get to know him. Let's see if he's worth what we could potentially buy him for at the end of the season. Massive opportunity for him to step up. I would like to see a bit of Odin Thiago home. I feel like since the Feyenoord game, he's not really had the opportunity to recover. But there's definitely a player in there, and I hope that we get to see that over these next few weeks. But I would start Bernardo, and aside from that, it's the only change I'd make. Once again, we have the position now to bring Nawrowski back in. We could do that if we wanted to, but you can't drop Scales, you can't drop Cameron Carter-Vickers. So for me, it's an unchanged side, apart from the forced change of Hatate coming out for Paulo Bernardo. And aside from that, just let the players keep doing what they're doing, build on the confidence that's flowing at the minute. Of course, we don't have a European game to worry about midweek, so we do have a midweek game. We have St Mirren on Wednesday, so we do need to think about rotation perhaps, but I think Celtic Park is the opportunity to maybe make a couple of changes. At Easter Road, go out there with the best side that we've got at the minute. Yeah, there's no problems in that team for me. And finally, score prediction. I'm going to go for 3-0 to Celtic. Yes, ambitious, big prediction, but we're playing really well. Hibs aren't playing very well at all. So, yeah, 3-0. Hopefully that doesn't come back to smack me in the face. First time I feel like I've been properly confident with a prediction this season. You know, usually I've been floating about 2-1s, 1-0s, yada yada. This is the first time. So, touch wood, please, everybody watching the video. Right, that does it for today then. Very quickly, before I end the video, there won't be a match reaction tomorrow. I apologise, I'm sorry. I'll try and recover on Sunday and give you something to watch. But I'll be out tomorrow, Halloween. It's my favourite night of the year. And sadly, we've got a sub-crawl planned, which would start not too long after the game finishes. So I need to get out. I need to get my costume on. I'm dressing up as the one and only LA Knight. So, you know, I'm not going to make a video dressed in my costume. So, sorry there'll be no match reaction, but we'll be back on Sunday, hopefully, and then business as usual from Monday anyway. So, thank you all for the support nonetheless. Like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all next time.